Okay, so this video, this is the second video for Jewish Boy Jay. First and foremost, I wanted to say thank you for all you guys that have watched and commented, good, bad, or the ugly. I don't care. I like it all. I just like hearing from people and trying to connect with people and shit, so we can all be on the same page. And the biggest shout out is to Lowski being real. It's my homie, man. We were having a conversation earlier by text, and like no homo, nothing like that. But it's like we both basically agreed. Like we feel like we came from the same mom and dad, but one grew up poor Jewish, the other grew up Haitian black, but we're like the same people. We have the same mindset. We have the same interest. It's no homo, and this is like how men should be with other, with your people. And it's awesome. Like, relationships started off as just making a comment on his channel because I really fucked with it. And I think he knew that I was producing music for a lot of big artists. And we've just been cool ever since, man. He's a great dude, and he speaks the truth, and he's really out here trying to make a change. And that's what I'm here trying to do too, is to make a change. I've been watching too many videos and seeing too much stuff where other people, Jewish people that aren't Zionists, that aren't part of this New World Order, that are really just regular Jewish people, they're not making videos because they're scared. I honestly think most Jews that aren't Zionists, like the middle, high-class Jews, they're very wimpy, I guess you could say. Like they lack testosterone or something. I don't know. They rather fight all the battles in court than in the street, or not. Shit doesn't mean the street, but they don't like confrontations like that and shit like that. I grew up differently. But again, we're all those. They're not Zionists. They're just low testosterone Jews. And Lowski has been, like I said, back to that, he's been doing such a great job spreading awareness and helping people. And we need this more because we're coming up on a race war. Like, unless we change things internally, that means all of us. And what I mean by that is that this is all by design. This isn't something that there's always been racial tension, but they want this now more than ever. And this video is about that, and it's about preparedness, and it's about basically not prepping, but just learning how to to deal with things. Shit is a fair. One of the things that it just seems like it's pre-programmed, the whole Black Lives Matter thing. I agree with Black Lives Matter. I think all lives matter, but I think in this time of need, with all this police brutality with young black men, I think that Black Lives Matter is a great campaign. I think this is a great thing for black people to stand up, so that some of this, hopefully, it's not always not going to be all of it, because there's always going to be fucked up cops, but now that they got over body cams and shit, hopefully the shit gets fucking dwindled down. Like, the shit is just out of control with all the shootings, and I really support Black Lives Matter. Now, on the other side of that, I kind of think it's a government agenda. Not the ideal, like I said, I believe full-heartedly in the ideal. But when you see Bernie Sanders, let's just say, he's an old Jewish guy, you can tell he lacks testosterone. But you can see in his videos, like when he did the Black Lives Matter thing, first of all, if you're running for the presidency, you don't let anybody rush the stage. Like, I don't know how those two girls got up there, but you need security. Like, I don't know what the fuck is wrong. Again, it's that low testosterone. You even saw the guy on there trying to, say that they're going to let her speak and all this kind of stuff, and he just looked like a wimp too. It's this Jewish testosterone thing. Basically, there was a whole lot of white people there, and a whole lot of black people, and Indian people, and other, ethnicities, and everybody was there for Black Lives Matter. My mother marched with Martin Luther King, You know, I've learned about not being racist and that everybody's the same since I was a little boy. And Bernie has those same feelings. I'm not saying vote for Bernie. I'm just, this has nothing to do with that. What this has to do with is that, you know, he was there back in, was 66 with King and walking, you know, back then it was a taboo. It was very, you know, different for somebody that's white to join that. You know, and he did that, and he was there for Black Lives Matter. So all of a sudden, these two girls storm up, and, you know, without sounding, you know, I don't even give a shit. They both looked like they were made to look like ghetto. Like they had the extensions in their hair with the colors. The way that they spoke was very, you know, like hoodish, kind of, you know what I mean, like more. Not like what you would speak at a political, you know, rally, especially about something that means so much to you with Black Lives Matter. And then the next day they had one of the girls on one of those fucking news channels. I don't watch any of them really, except for this, you know, to see the highlights. But I think it was MSNBC or CNN, one of those bullshit publications. But they had one of the girls on there, and the color from her hair was removed. She spoke like she was a totally different person. She was extremely articulate. She sounded like a college. I mean, I had my bachelor's. She sounded like she had a master's. I mean, she spoke amazingly. And it was like, wait a minute. You ambushed Bernie and did all that, even though, like I said, I'm not about, you know, this isn't a political channel. But you did all that, and then the next day, you act like you're a totally different person. You're just like the same body, but without the colored hair, and it's like you act like a totally different person. And that really made me think. I mean, I don't know if it's Trump, I don't know who it is, but it's like the elitists, like you know, they don't want, they didn't want Bernie to win, which is whatever, but they don't want white people they don't want big public shows of affair of white people that really care about black people and about equality. They want to cut that down, and it feels like that was a payoff. It really feels like a scam to me. I can't think of anything else about that. I mean, I'm not trying to be a conspiracy theorist, but that seems like it was a setup, you know. You know, it's fucked up, and basically, you know, what's happening day by day, you know, they're chipping away, they're making it more that they want a race war, because basically, if they have a race war in this country, that's great for them. Like, we're so stuck into what's the, you know, we're all stuck in what's the hottest Fetty Wap song that's out, what's the new Future joint, you know what I'm saying, what are the new kicks, what's this, you know, we're stuck in the material world, and I've been trying to pull myself more and more away from it, and, you know, it keeps people in this loop, and they just want to keep people in this loop, because when you're in this loop, you don't see the big picture, and that's what this guy, like I said, his YouTube name is, Staying Prepper Are You? I don't know if you can see that. I'll annotate it in the link. But you know, he brought up so many valid points that, you know, it says, why don't blacks prepare for shit? It's the fam, like I said before. And it's not just blacks, it's, you know, Jews, it's other minorities. You know, the biggest people that are really preparing for this stuff are, like, you know, the white Americans, the white, you know, I'm Jewish, German, I'm not a white Anglo-Saxon, whatever the fuck, you know, that is. That's not me. And they're the ones that seem like they're always prepped for it, you know, and it's a big deal. You know, the thing is that, you know, we're, like I said, stuck in this bullshit, you know, that we just keep getting regurgitated music. You know, I won't work with, I've had a lot of artists hit me up for production, and there's only a few artists that I really work with because the extra, you know, a couple thousand here and there for an exclusive, plus, you know, the royalties if the song takes off, but that money is not worth my code of ethics. Like, I love drill music just as much as the next person does. I love to put on some older Chief Keef and just fucking bang my head and shit and shake my hair like how fucking when Waka was hitting back in the day. Just that Machine Gun Kelly, like rock star, having a good time kind of feel that Chief Keef has. But it's the guns and shit that comes with it. And there's nothing wrong with guns. Like, people need to learn better in these situations, how to do tactical drills, how to breach rooms, how to use a firearm properly, how to safety check a firearm, how to use a firearm in a firefight, rules of a firefight, long range shooting, short range shooting, 2 to the head, 3 to the center mass. You don't need to be hitting a target this big at 200 yards. You need to hit a man-sized target. You need to put 2 in the head, 2 in the chest or center of mass, and you will drop somebody. And that's, for your personal protection. And that, there's just too much glorification of guns in the wrong light. I think it's great to glorify guns, but not for violence, not this senseless bullshit where all these young kids are getting killed for no reason. And a lot of it's over music and the gangs and everything that are affiliated. Like I said before, in Baltimore, we don't have GDs and BDs like that. Like, we have BGF, we have Bloods, and a lot of them don't really put a lot of the gang shit in the music. It's starting to change because everybody's copying off Chicago. I mean, they have been with the drill music, but they're doing kind of the same thing, and that's why I only really work with artists that I fuck with. Like, I've been offered to work with a lot of other people that I just turned down just because it's not worth it. King Los, P. Dubflow, probably 2 of the best lyricists of upcoming rappers by far. These dudes, lyrically, this is rap, this is like real music, this isn't about killing people, shit like that. And they are killing it, and it sounds so good. And it's awesome to be able to work with people like that. That aren't promoting that lifestyle. And even like Fat Gleesh, like Fat Trout, you might know him as, he's actually a really chill, really cool dude. And he's very, actually, I know he's had some things that have just happened in the news or whatever. He's actually very tactical. He knows what he's doing. He knows he's trained before. He knows his shit. So you got to applaud that. And, the biggest thing is, most people, most people aren't prepping, or at least getting a firearm and becoming, or a few firearms and becoming proficient with them. I am a fan of the AK, SKS line of guns for rifles. I mean, really, if shit hits the fan, you're gonna need a good rifle. Handgun is great, but if you can get a good rifle, especially one that you can put like a folding stock. If shit hit the fan, I'd probably build another SKS like the one I'll show you, but with this folding stock, to be able to breach rooms, to be able to get into soul quarters, have a bullet, a 30 caliber 7.62 by 39 AK bullet that shoots this gun that will drop somebody. Like, yeah, it's not a fucking, it's a 300-yard gun. It's not a fucking 308 that's meant to go out 600 yards, 700 yards. I mean, you can still get out there and touch somebody, but in close quarters, which most fighting is nowadays, you want a 7.62 by 39. The AK bullet, the 545 or 556 by 45 is a great bullet, but it's like comparing a 45 to a 9mm, and you can have the same capacity instead of having limited capacity with the 45. 7.62 by 39 is a much bigger bullet than the 5.56 or 223. It's supposed to be the same thing. But I mean, I don't have a full 223 bullet here. I'm not really an AR guy, but I have some brass that I'm reloading for a friend of mine, and you can see the difference just in the size of the casing. So you know that the bullet that's going into this AR gun is .556 223 round is a lot smaller. It's like the 9mm. Then you have this, which is like the 30 cal. This is the same that's in the 308, same that's in the 30-06. It's a 30 cal bullet. 311s to be exact, not 308. It's a little bit bigger than a 308 because it's a Russian bullet. But that bullet is like the 45 of short range rifles, and that bullet will rip somebody up. A 223 556, I've seen people get shot with them, and it just goes in and out. You know, that bullet's like a laser beam. That will go out to 500-600 yards. If you want to be the American sniper, whatever. I suggest if you really want to do something like that, get a 223 bolt gun or a 308 bolt gun, even better, and put a nice scope on it. A 4 to 15 or 4 to 7 actually power scope will be fine, and pick out your targets like that. And there is going to be an importance with a rifle like that. That's why I like the SKS, because it basically incorporates both. And these guns I like a lot better than the AK. They were made, these were the predecessor, these came out before the AK did. And the reason why they switched to the AK was because these have what's called a milled receiver, which means that, take this mag out, which means that this whole solid piece of steel right here, and all the parts that go into here were made on they were machined. They were a block of steel, and somebody sat there laboriously, for hours and hours before they had CNC machines like they do now, where they can just cut a bunch of them. These were Russian guns that were made by hand, and being milled instead of stamped, basically stamped, which most AKs are unless you spend and get a really good AK. They're stamped metal to where the metal's folded and then it's welded or riveted. And these guns are actually, well, they were a lot cheaper than the AKs, and now they're about the same price as the AKs because people are realizing how good these are. They don't come with this mag release or this mag adapter, but I can help you if you want to go in that direction. I'm working with a lot of people in the field on these new SKSs, and they're awesome. I mean, you see how fast the mag change is, and it's awesome. I can show you a couple of mags, and this one keeps wanting to pop around out. I gotta fix that one. But these Tapco mags are kind of shitty. The Pro mags are the way to go. Did it again, son of a bitch. I can't believe this happened on camera. It never happens with those. But you see how easy this mag goes with. These Tapcos have really weak springs. So the followers have issues. These are Pro mags, and this is hilarious. I haven't had this happen one time with a Pro mag, and I guess because I'm trying to rush and I'm on camera. The bolt keeps, this is because this is the Tapco, that's why. There's another Pro mag. See how easy it goes in. And these things have a 20-inch barrel instead of an 18 or a 14-inch barrel, so you can get much better accuracy out of the barrel. And because it's milled instead of stamped, the parts don't wobble as much. Like if you watch an AK-47 in slow motion, you can see the gun basically flexing and moving, and gas coming out in different areas. It's just a very loose tolerance gun. That's why it works so well in dirt and sand and shit like that, because it has plenty of space for that stuff to fill in there without it messing up the fire control housing. I'm not taking away from AKs, they're great guns, but the SKS is just as reliable, and I mounted a Vortex that, I don't know if you can see that or not. Basically mounted that on there, and it's very easy to acquire targets. It's a great little red dot. Can't say enough about this gun. Love this gun. I have a couple ARs that I'm probably gonna get rid of to buy some AKs because I really don't like ARs that much. That's a separate discussion. But anyway, back to this whole thing. We need to all stick together, and we need to stop, like I said, just listening to the newest bullshit song that's out. And we need to have conversations with each other and try to figure out a way that we can all live together without having a race war that the government wants so they can split us up. We all need each other. We fuck them, like, not fuck them, I don't want them to fucking knock on my door, but like, we need each other. If all of us stand together, if we're all united, we're a force to be reckoned with. And if we all fight united, nobody can touch us. We are one of the biggest continents in the world. So many of us have skills. And what I would say, to you guys out there in the trap, people that like guns that are in the city and shit, get a gun and go to the range. I know that all that street shit, it's hard to, it's temptation, you know what I'm saying? I've been there, I've been shot, shit is not fun. It wasn't even that long, it was like a week ago, in a training accident, but what I'm saying is take that passion in the guns and build a custom Glock, go to the range with it, get good with that, get proficient with that gun. Don't go kill some other dude just because he put up a fucking Instagram post, with dropping like a different gang sign and shit. Like, fuck all that. Get fucking deadly with that bitch. Danger that bitch up, as James Yeager says. That means keep one always in the pipe. Have a mag in that bitch. Danger that bitch up. Take it to the range. Get fucking go with that motherfucker. And then when shit really does pop off, you'll be able to know how to crack back and actually hit something. You dig? Like, that's really what, I'm saying, with all this shit is. Like, we need to all stick together. Fuck this race war. Fuck this election. Obama's probably going to be in there for a third term to call martial law. Like, you can call me crazy. I don't give a fuck. I'm just mad about this shit, and I'm very passionate about this shit. And I'm very passionate about the Second Amendment, and I strongly advise that you become like that as well. Otherwise, you're just a sheeple, and you're just part of the bullshit and regurgitation that just keeps going on in this world. And you will be the ones that die off first. Because there are a lot of people out here that are ready for this shit. And guess what? If you get prepared and you get ready for this shit, the worst thing that can happen if it doesn't happen, you got all these fucking badass guns. And you got extra food. Like, what the fuck? It's a win-win situation. So that's all I'm asking is everybody out there, you know what I'm saying, to try to live a little bit better with each other and try to look at the big picture that most people around you aren't your enemy. It's not us. We're all united if you really think about it. We both fucking bleed red, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, skip the bullshit. Skip all this flexible ass, gay ass music that's out there, man. We need to get back to masculinity and fuck this transgender shit. Because it's not in the Bible. Or if it is, I think it's like definitely like a double sin. Like, you're going to double hell for that shit. So, anyway, this is Jewish Boy J. I'm out. Shout out to Lowski. Shout out to Los. Shout out to fucking Gleesh. Shout out to Doflo. Shout out to Neezy. Shout out to my whole West Side block. Everybody.